Hi there, Tamara Dorris, your Sacramento real estate professor and your Sacramento real estate professional. And today I thought we would do a little exploring of a real estate outside, beautiful weather. And I'm going to take you to one of my favorite areas, which is called the Garden of the Gods. Now, the Garden of the Gods, as esoteric and majestic as it sounds, really is because, well, it's the development name, but it's also because all of the streets have names after Greek gods. So we're going to go look at some houses. Not a lot available over there, but I want to show you some properties that have recently sold and give you the stats on them so we can just kind of look at some of the various things around there. Then we're going to take a peek over at the shopping mall that's literally about, I don't know, you can walk to it, but it's got Whole Foods, it's got one of my favorite yoga studios, and it's kind of a great place, and I'll show you all the things that are there. So it's also important to note that it's right across the street from Arden Park, which is a highly, highly desirable area in the Sacramento area. Now, when I say Sacramento, people can get confused because Sacramento encompasses a lot. There's a lot that's Sacramento County. For example, Elk Grove is Sacramento County, but Elk Grove is like 2 minutes away from here. It's got its own name. This is Carmichael, right? This is Carmichael, but it's still Sacramento County. You follow me so far? However, there are parts of Sacramento that are not Carmichael or Elk Grove or Fair Oaks, just Sacramento, but in very different areas. So what we looked at when I did the Mission Oak Park area is we looked at Carmichael. And it's just one part of Carmichael, a very small part of Carmichael. Most of Carmichael is over there, and we'll look at those houses in that neighborhood, those neighborhoods later. But what we're going to look at today is in Sacramento, and it's 95821. Now, it may interest you to know that the park that I showed you before, Mission Avenue Park, is literally on the street called Mission. And the minute you cross that street, you've just gone from Carmichael to Sacramento. Carmichael is 95608 zip code. Sacramento, where Mission Park is 95821. Where my husband grew up. It's where, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law had a home for 60 years. So two different things, right? So we can have lots of areas in Sacramento. And as I go exploring neighborhoods with you and we go looking around the Sacramento region, even though I say this is in Sacramento, I'm going to be really clear on where the zip code is. I'm going to show you on a map so it makes more sense. Okay, so are you ready? Let's go. And here we have El Camino High School, which couches one end of the Garden of the Gods. And you'll notice there's some beautiful new buildings. It's a very big campus. So we're right on the corner now of El Camino and Eastern. And of course, I failed to mention, there's the high school, there's Dutch Brothers. So high school kids at their lunch break can come get their caffeine fix on. Now, as we cruise through the Garden of the Gods, I want you just to notice how pristine and clean of a neighborhood it is. The homes are basically all built in the early 1950s. A lot of them, I would say, have been upgraded. I've sold a few in this area, and they've always just been so nice. It's rare to find a fixture, but we actually do have a fixture on our list. I'll see if I can find it, and we'll at least take a look at the outside of it. But I'll tell you what, even for a fixer, it is amazingly clean. I saw the inside of it in MLS and I'm thinking, wow, this is a flipper's entire dream to be able to find a home like this and to be able to really purchase a home for $500,000. I think it's listed at $499, and to be able to resell it in, for $100,000. And it doesn't need the structural work. It looks like it just needs all the cosmetic. I believe it had the old wallpaper in it. So we're going to go over the price ranges. Basically, it's very rare to find anything in this neighborhood because nobody wants to move. Look at these yards. Look at this quiet, nice neighborhood. I mean, nobody wants to move. So if you get a home in the Garden of the Gods, you're just going to kind of hang out, right? You're not going to want to leave. And the homes range from, I would say, $590 to in the mid 600s. And again, these are large lots. The homes are not that large. The homes are basically, let's say 12 to 1600 square feet. So they're not large homes. It's just kind of a pristine area. And we looked at El Camino High School, from what you could see of it.
El Camino High School is kind of a, it's kind of an uppity up high school. And then, of course, you've got Whole Foods on the other side of us. So this is kind of what I would consider an older, established, prestigious area that's nestled away in the Garden of the Gods, and it's named that because all of the streets are named things like Venus and Morpheus and Ulysses, Adonis, all the Greek gods that you can think of. So this is a little tour through the neighborhood, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And so here we are ending up at the other end. This is on the other side of the Garden of the Gods. You've got a Starbucks, you've got Whole Foods, otherwise known as Whole Paycheck. I'm just kidding. I love Whole Foods, but I will say for those of you who don't want to go shopping at Whole Foods, if you can see over there, we have a Bel Air. So it's right across the street. Starbucks, Whole Foods, got an urgent care, Baskin Robbins, dry cleaning, massage envy, pool supplies, fine jewelers. And right on the other side of the fine jewelers is my favorite yoga studio called Shala Yoga. So there you have it. We've got the Garden of the Gods. I will tell you that this parking lot can get pretty darn crowded, so you don't want to be talking on your phone when you are here running around in this parking lot. It can get really crowded, especially on the weekends. But otherwise, it's a pretty nice little area, and I love it a lot.
We're going to look at a few different houses, and I will explain as we go through, because it's easier when I can show you them online than it is when I'm trying to drive around and show you that way. So this is a home that has closed last October. And again, because homes don't go up for sale in the Garden of the Gods very often, this is one that sold. It was one of the last ones that sold. And now we are in the mid-April, and I'm telling you that this closed in the end of October 2023. Okay. Anyway, beautiful home. This is a single story, beautiful porch, as you can see, lots of windows, natural light. We're talking about 1952. This is when the Garden of the Gods was born, was hatched, was built. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, square footage, only 1,259 feet. So not large homes. This was on the market only 5 days, and it closed for $552. So this is something to take note of, because again, they don't come on the market very often. And then I'm going to show you a couple of others so you can compare. I don't have pictures of the inside, but based on the MLS, it was very clean, and a lot of it had upgrades. So it was upgraded. Now, as opposed to the one that I'm going to show you on Thorway, you got to love these names: Thor, Mercury. This here is pending, and I don't know how much it sold for. It was listed for $499, but I'm going to tell you, this is a flipper's dream, because it is as clean a fixer-upper as I have ever seen. When you look in the MLS, you can see that it's just immaculate, but it's very old. The old countertops, the old, I think it was pink and orange wallpaper. It was very clean, but very outdated. And so, like I said, this is a flipper's dream. This was built in 1954, 1,700 square feet, so a little bit bigger. You can see the one that just sold in October sold for over $500,000. This is listed at $500,000. You put $40,000 into this, and it is going to be probably in the 600s, is my guess. This was on the market for 19 days. Again, I don't know if there was any structural issues with it, but it looked like it had been owner occupied for a number of years. So it seems to me that this would be a really excellent buy. If you can find something in the Garden of Gods for under $500,000, you better jump on it. And last but not least, I wanted to show you the one that was current on the market. And this picture is a little outdated. I'm looking at Google Maps here. The garage door looks a little messed up. The front yard is not green. The current picture in MLS is much more beautiful. And I will tell you, the inside of this home, which is a 3 to 4 bedroom with a 2.5, 3-bath bathroom situation, 1,971 square feet. And I want to be really clear when I say 3 to 4 bedroom, this home features an in-law quarter. So I believe it's a little apartment in the back, which is nice if you have in-laws living with you. This home inside MLS, it shows it is immaculate, all brand new, upgraded. It was vacant, white granite. Everything was just amazing. Wooden floors. Everything was just beautiful. Complete. It was luxury living in Garden of the Gods, I'll tell you. Everything was elegant inside, every single detail. It was just like it would be a beautiful Airbnb, but it is listed at $655. So we don't usually spend $655 on a rental, but because it has the second in-law quarters, lots of different different opportunities for this. It's been on the market almost 2 months. So is 655 a little too high for Garden of the Gods? Maybe. As I said, there's not a lot of sales going on here, so it's kind of hard to gauge. Now, if someone comes along and pays $655 for this, will the appraiser be able to support it with recent sale? We don't know. We just looked at the recent sale, if you recall, and the recent sale was over here on Venus, and that sold for, let me grab it, and that one sold for, I said, $552. So we're talking 3-bedroom, 2-bath, built the same time, only a few hundred more square feet. This versus this, is this really going to be able to sell for $655? I don't know. I do know that, as you can see from the video and the footage of driving around in the neighborhood today, that it is a beautiful, pristine neighborhood. It's very clean. This picture doesn't do it justice, but the yards are usually very pristine. And I will show you, and you can see from this little map, that the Star King School, there's Morpheus, there's Ulysses, all the streets that we're driving down. So you can take a look, and there you see Massage Envy. This is where Whole Foods is, and then over at this end would be where El Camino is. So hopefully that gives you a little bit better of an idea of what we're looking at. So there you have it. That was a little exploration around the Garden of the Gods, where Whole Foods is, things of that nature. And I think that some of the houses over there are just beautiful. The curb appeal is amazing. The resale value is really, really high up. It's butted between Whole Foods and El Camino High School, which is it's a very high rated school. It's if you look up the SAT scores, they're very high rated. I actually went there one year. They didn't want me the rest of the time. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually a highly rated high school. So if you are going to move into this area, and again, I'm talking about the zip codes 95608, that's really close to 95821, or 95825. In this whole little region, you definitely want to consider either the Mara Loma or the El Camino High School, unless you go to a private high school. Those are two highly rated high schools. So look them up. I cannot legally give you high school advice, but look them up and see where you think that they stand with their testing and their rating. Also up to you to check out crimes and all things of that nature. I've lived in this area my whole life, in this whole radius of areas, and I love it very much. So just saying, it's a great neighborhood for me. It's a great place for us to raise our family. So if you're thinking of selling your home that's in this area, or you'd like to come look at a home to buy in this area, all you need to do is shoot me a text, go to my Calendly link below, and let's set up a time for a Zoom call. We can get a lot accomplished with you in your home or your office, and me sitting here in my office, and we can go over comps and do a lot of things, get to know each other, and see if we want to go to the next step. All right. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for watching.